Manchester City reduced Champions League ticket prices and tried to tackle major fan issue. Manchester City have announced the ticket pricing for their 4 Champions League games in the first phase. Manchester City have reduced ticket prices in the Champions League as they try and make football more affordable for their fans. A seat for the first game of the new campaign against Kevin De Bruyne's Napoli will cost between £35 and £55 for adults, with under 18s able to attend for £15. That pricing reflects the game being deemed a Category B fixture in the calendar, equivalent to watching City play Everton in the Premier League. While there is expected to be significant interest in the game, with it being De Bruyne's return to the Etihad after a wonderful 10 years at the club, as well as a visit from the Serie A champions, the club did not want to charge as much as they could have done as part of their desire to bring prices down. The equivalent fixture last season, the visit of Inter Milan, saw prices range from £37.50 to £77.50 for adults. There were complaints from supporters last year that the Champions League was made automatically more expensive because there was one extra home game added into the competition. Dortmund's visit will be priced the same as Napoli, while the games against Leverkusen and Galatasaray will be priced between £25 and £45 for a ticket, with £10 tickets for under 18s. That is cheaper than the cheapest category of Premier League games this season. City have also taken action to try to prevent any tickets being bought by away supporters. Part of the conditions for attending the Napoli game will be that supporters must have had a matchday membership before the Champions League draw was made and have attended at least one game. The club hope that measure will reduce the safety risks posed when away supporters are able to purchase tickets in the home end. Blues were incensed last year at the sight of Real Madrid fans in their areas for the Champions League playoff, while in 2023 Manchester United were forced to apologise and admit that 2,000 Galatasaray had been sat in the home end for their Champions League game that had caused safety issues inside the stadium. City will have returning players to welcome in 3 of their 4 Champions League fixtures. Claudio Echeverri is currently on loan at Leverkusen. De Bruyne has moved to Napoli, and İlkay Gündoğan will reunite with Leroy Sane at Galatasaray. Pep Guardiola's new 24-man Manchester City squad as transfer deadline day deals completed and wish granted. Manchester City announced 4 deals on Tuesday. Manchester City spent £175 million this summer as Pep Guardiola's squad rebuild continued at pace. In something of a window of 2 halves, City boxed off 4 arrivals before the Club World Cup in a show of smooth and efficient recruitment. But they then signed 2 new goalkeepers in the closing weeks of the window amid a cloud of uncertainty, in a position that threatened to overshadow the start to the season and could still impact how things are moving forward, given James Trafford was signed as a successor to Ederson and now finds himself behind Gianluigi Donnarumma, 5 years younger than the Brazilian, in the pecking order. City also seemingly seemed to struggle to sell the players they really wanted to and had to ward off interest in ones they wanted to keep. Savinho stayed despite keen interest from Tottenham, while Jack Grealish left on loan, as did Manuel Akanji in the dying embers of the window. Calvin Phillips and Stefan Ortega, who both have no future at the Etihad, remain in situ. There are question marks around how this City squad will gel together, but Guardiola got his wish of a smaller group of players with the late departures of Ederson, Akanji and İlkay Gündoğan, even if the current 24-man senior squad will still leave the Blues boss with difficult decisions if injuries abate. City have lost 2 of their opening 3 league matches and returned to action after the international break for a Manchester derby before travelling to the Emirates to take on Arsenal. It remains to be seen who is in City's best 11 amid a summer of change, but their squad certainly has a fresh look. Here's how it is shaping up. Once a Blue, Ederson breaks silence as he completes £12 million Manchester City exit. Manchester City goalkeeper Ederson has left the club after 8 years of service to join Turkish side Fenerbahçe. Ederson declared his time at Manchester City the most special time of my life, as he said farewell to the Premier League champions. The goalkeeper has completed a £12 million move to Fenerbahçe to end an 8-year spell at the Etihad, where he has won countless honours and changed the way his position is looked at. While he is off for a new challenge, Ederson leaves a phenomenal legacy both at the club and in English football. He will not forget his time here in a hurry and took time to thank the fans for making him feel so welcome. I leave Manchester City incredibly proud of what we have achieved together. and I am honoured to have worn the shirt so many times, he said. Under Pep, we have dominated the Premier League and conquered Europe. It has been amazing. I would first of all like to thank him and Xabi Mancisidor for making me the best goalkeeper I could be and teaching so much about the game. I must also thank my teammates. Our desire to win every game we play has been a joy to be a part of, and that has made me relish every day on the training field or in the dressing room with every one of you. Finally, the fans. Thank you for making me feel at home in a city so far away from where I am from, and for supporting me throughout what has been an amazing period for me and my family. I arrived in Manchester 8 years ago full of hope, but I could not have predicted such a beautiful time together. Playing for City has been the most special time of my life, and I will always be a fan of this special club. I'm going with my wife and children, but I'm leaving a big family here, citizens. Once a blue, always a blue. Ederson's future had been the subject of speculation throughout the transfer window, with Galatasaray leading the race since July and having an offer rejected by City. But Fenerbahce stepped up their interest in the final days of the window and secured a deal that allowed City to press ahead with plans to sign Gianluigi Donnarumma from Paris Saint-Germain. That completed a major overhaul of the goalkeepers in Guardiola's squad, with Donnarumma's arrival following the signings of James Trafford from Burnley and Marcus Bettinelli from Chelsea. Ederson had just 1 year left on his contract and was widely expected to see it out before leaving on a free transfer next summer, until interest developed in him this year, and City signalled their intent to make changes to the squad. The 32-year-old leaves after 8 years at the club, during which time he has made 372 appearances and won countless honours, both with the team and individually. He won 6 Premier League titles and the Champions League, as well as lifting the FA Cup twice and being part of squads that claimed the League Cup 4 times. Ederson has been an incredible servant to Manchester City, said sporting director Hugo Viana. The fact no goalkeeper has ever won more